Let's start with a really simple idea. The idea of you. Who are you really?
You wake up in the morning, you're in one body, you go about your day as one single person, a singular self.
You've got one name, right? It's your identifier in a world that's filled with billions of other single selves.
And you live what feels like one distinct life. It's a simple story, it's a powerful story. But what if I told you that's not the whole story?
What happens when we zoom in? I mean, really zoom in? Past what our eyes can see, down to the very landscape of our own skin, our own bodies. Well, here's the incredible truth. You are not a monolith. You're a multitude. Your body is a home, a habitat, a living world that is absolutely teeming with trillions of microscopic organisms.
And this bustling community, well, it has a name. It's your microbiome. And these aren't just some random hitchhikers. This is a complex, organized society of life forms you carry with you every single moment of your life.
So just let that sink in for a second. You're not some sterile machine. You are a walking, talking ecosystem. And once you start to see yourself this way, it's pretty much impossible to ever see yourself the old way again.
All right, so let's start our journey in one of the most densely populated places in this inner world, your gut.
Now, for the longest time, we kind of thought of the gut as just a simple digestive tube. Food goes in, nutrients come out, waste moves on. But that picture is way too simple. The reality is so much more incredible. The gut is a living workshop, and it's staffed by trillions of microbial workers.
And this invisible workforce, it is unbelievably busy. They do things our own bodies just can't do on their own. They break down tough fibers from our food, unlocking hidden nutrients. They even create chemical signals that act like messages, and get this, they help train our immune system. This incredible collaboration is happening inside you right now.
This really shows us that digestion isn't a solo act. Not at all. Every single meal you eat is a partnership between your body and the trillions of microbes that are ready to get to work.
So where does this amazing partnership even come from? For that, we've got to go back to the very beginning.
See, we aren't born with this fully formed ecosystem inside of us. It has to be built from the ground up. So, where do those first residents, the founding members of our inner world, actually come from?
The whole process kicks off right at birth. The very first microbes arrive from the mother and the world around us. Then early feeding, especially with breast milk, comes in and nourishes specific beneficial microbes. And through family, touch, and just care, this first community gets shaped, setting the stage for that ecosystem's entire future.
I mean, this is just remarkable. Think about it. Breast milk isn't just feeding the baby, it's also selectively feeding the baby's first microbial partners. The mother is nourishing two interconnected forms of life at the exact same time, the child and the ecosystem that's going to help support that child.
Now, this relationship isn't just about digestion or where we come from. It's a constant, dynamic conversation between our internal world and the world all around us.
Let's talk about the immune system. We often imagine it as this military force, right? Always on the attack. But in the gut, its job is way more sophisticated. It has to learn what we can call biological judgment, how to tell a friend from a foe, what to tolerate, and when to respond. And the gut is its main training ground.
And that whole conversation is chemical. Microbes turn our food into signals that can influence everything from inflammation to our metabolism and even our mood. And here's the astonishing part. This creates a direct communication line between your gut and your brain. Your gut isn't silent. It's constantly sending and receiving messages.
What's so fascinating is that humans have been working with this microbial world for thousands of years, long before we had the tools to even see it. Traditional food practices, like fermentation, were a form of deep wisdom. This is in pretty stark contrast to modern life, where things like processed foods and certain medicines can really disrupt these ancient partnerships.
And this gives us a totally new way to think about tradition. Making something like yogurt or sourdough, it isn't just about preserving heritage. It's a sophisticated application of ecological knowledge. It's a way of harnessing microbial power for our own benefit.
So, when you put all of this together, we arrive at a profoundly new way of seeing, well, not just our bodies, but our place in the entire world.
Understanding the microbiome, it really changes everything. It changes how we see ourselves, not as individuals, but as walking, talking communities. It changes how we see our food. It's not just fuel, it's information that speaks to our inner world. And it changes how we see our health and our responsibility to the living planet that we are all a part of.
So, what does this all mean?
The most astonishing truth might just be this: you have never, ever been alone. You are accompanied by ancient lineages, by microbial workers, and by these invisible communities that connect you to your past, your food, and your entire environment.
And this leaves us with a really profound question for the future, doesn't it? The challenge is no longer just about protecting ourselves from microbes. It's about learning how to live wisely with this essential, invisible world that is, and always has been, a fundamental part of who we are.